If you've ever grown vegetables in grow bags, then you probably have learned that watering them and keeping them irrigated is a little bit more challenging than doing the same in containers. We're going to talk today about why that's important and a couple of ways that make a huge difference in making sure that your vegetables stay watered and they are full and healthy. If you're new to grow bag gardening, one of the biggest benefits to using grow bags, besides how portable and lightweight they are, is that because they're porous, they air prune. You don't have to worry about the roots circling in search of water. They will reach the edge of the grow bag and then they'll stop and then they'll produce more roots from the center. But with that benefit also comes with a cost, and that cost is in the watering. Because you have a porous surface, it's going to dry out a lot more quickly. Now, this is kind of a benefit in that you don't have to worry about overwatering your containers, which can be a problem with other containers. You don't have to worry about root rot, but you do have to worry about them drying out. And also, watering them can be a challenge because many of the potting mixes that we use for grow bag gardening, they contain peat moss or coco coir. And once those two media actually end up drying out, they're really hard to rehydrate. It's not impossible, but it makes it a little bit more difficult to make sure and keep your grow bags watered and irrigated well. You may think it's as simple as just watering more, but that also poses a challenge because when you're talking about vegetable gardening, when you're watering your containers over and over and over, a lot of times if you overwater them and they continue to leach out the liquid, then you're losing a lot of nutrients in the process. So you really want to get this happy medium of making sure that the soil stays irrigated without a lot of runoff, because with that runoff comes losing a lot of nutrients in the process. So let me show you a couple of tips that I have found that really help in keeping my grow bags irrigated. The first thing you can do is to be sure and water slowly. And let me show you how I found is a great way to do that. The way I have found is easiest to do this is by using my Hoselink garden hose. This particular benefit to the Hoselink garden hose was actually one I hadn't anticipated. At the beginning of the season, I contacted Hoselink because I was looking for a solution for watering my whole elevated raised bed and grow bag area with a water hose that was better than what I had been using. The hose that I used before would kink all the time, and it was just a pain to have to keep putting up and back. And what ended up happening most of the time is that my hose just kind of sat on the patio all the time, and it was a true eyesore. And I'd seen a lot of people online talk about how great the Hoselink was, so I contacted Hoselink. They graciously sent me this one to try, and it has exceeded my expectations so much that I went ahead and bought a second one for my large garden because I like it so much. Now, what I love the most about this is obviously it's super easy to be able to take and go wherever I want to go in my garden area. And then when I'm done, it's just as easy to pull and walk it back. And then I'm done. I don't have to worry about the garden hose all over my patio. But there have been quite a few of extra little benefits to the Hoselink hose. One of them here is this quick shutoff valve where I can shut off the water, quick disconnect, and you can get these little quick disconnects, which I got to add to my soaker hose right here. And then you can quickly connect it if you have that quick connect to anything else like a soaker hose or a sprinkler or anything else you need to use. It's super easy to go on and off. And this is on, so all I have to do is push this down and the water is ready to go. And my favorite part is there are no kinks in the hose at all, which makes this super easy. But let's go back and look at why this is actually a benefit for the grow bags. Here's the benefit though that I was not anticipating when I got the Hoselink, and that is this little valve right here that you can control the amount of spray that actually comes out. So you can go all the way or you can go just a little bit. And you can see here that the flow is very light. And this is what I love about using this in the grow bag because it has a chance to absorb slowly. What will happen is if you have the full strength of your garden hose going with the grow bag, is that it's going to fill up very quickly, and then within a few minutes, you're gonna be able to see on the sides where it's going to start leaching out the sides. Now, that doesn't mean that your grow bag is irrigated. It just means that that soil is shedding that water very quickly. Most likely, it's not actually getting completely hydrated. It's just shedding very fast. And so that's why I like being able to control and be able to just get a little bit of water as opposed to that very strong jet. And by doing that, the water is able to leach through the grow bag a lot more slowly, and it'll be able to irrigate more of that soil as you go. My second tip to irrigating grow bags is to find some kind of a basin to actually put your grow bags in. You can see here I have an old wagon that works really well for that. And here's what I do to water the grow bags that are in this wagon. With the Hoselink, I can select on which spray function that I want. I'm going to choose jet, and for this I'm just going to water the bottom of the wagon, and I'm probably going to water it to about an inch, where there's an inch of water at the bottom. And what it does there is that the water will actually come up through the bottom of the grow bags, and it will water it from the bottom with a wicking action. But a benefit to that is that I can tell when my grow bags need water. So tomorrow, if I come back out here and the wagon is empty, I know that all I have to do is fill it up again. And then that gives me an indication when the soil is actually dry by the level that the water is in the basin. It also allows the soil to take up the water as it needs it, as opposed to putting all the water in at the top where you're not really sure if it's getting down to the bottom. This allows the water to actually go into the soil, and when it's dry, it takes it up. When it's wet, it doesn't. I find that this is evidenced on really heavy rainy days, and then there will be some water that'll sit at the bottom for several hours. But especially in the sunny, hot summer, a lot of times this water is taken up within a day. And that way I know when I come back, then all I have to do is fill the basin again to about an inch or two, and that keeps it irrigated. Both slow watering and watering using a basin has made a huge difference in my grow bags and the health of my plants. If you're interested in taking a further look at Hoselink, I highly recommend them. I have a link in the description. My Hoselink has an 82-foot retractable reel, but you can also get them in different sizes. And then you can also get these quick disconnects, and you can add them for anything else that you need in your garden. Obviously, I'm loving mine. I highly recommend it. For more garden resources like this, make sure that you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more coming up.